An audience Q&A for this panel, so start thinking about your questions. Oh, there's our mic right over yonder for whatever questions you guys may have. I kindly ask that you guys keep in mind what's currently going on with the strike and the SAG guidelines, so try to be creative with questions. Maybe try to think of questions that she hasn't been asked before. So is that cool with you guys? We're gonna start thinking about some, okay, amazing. So it is my absolute privilege to bring to the stage, she is the one, she is the only, Lana Parrilla!
Good morning. Everyone got here on time. Thank you. The lines weren't as long. Okay, good.
How's it been so far this weekend?
It's been great. It's been really great. I've met some new fans, and that's been awesome. I've seen some old faces, not old, but like familiar, sorry, recurring. And that's always nice. And Austin's a pretty badass city. I mean, it is my favorite city in Texas, I have to say. But
yeah.
I also, to be fair, haven't been to many cities.
That's okay.
Been to Dallas. Yeah.
Was this your first time visiting here, or have you been?
Oh no, I've been here so many times. I filmed here. I'm not going to put my foot in my mouth.
Right.
Done that. I did that last weekend. But I did a show here, and we filmed the pilot, and it was that series where I played the advocate for open marriage. Everyone's like, what?
Yeah. Yep.
So you know which one that is. And we were here for like 3 weeks, and it was during South by, and we had such a great time. It was just all the music and like Iggy Pop, and it was really cool. Yeah.
See Iggy Pop.
I got to see Iggy. And then I got to be on stage with Perry Farrell, and I was like, oh my God. I was a big Jane's Addiction fan back in the day.
Have you been to Lollapalooza?
Many times, yeah.
Okay.
Well, especially as a teen. You know, I was always going to all those festivals, yeah. Yeah, music.
This is the year I watched it, because they live streamed it. So it was pretty nice getting to watch and not having to be just, there's so many humans there. I don't know how they get that many
Lollapalooza is now in Chicago, right?
Yes.
So it used to be in LA, back in the 90s. Yeah, the badass 90s.
So fun.
So great. Yep, so that was the first time I was here, and then I've been here visiting friends. I have some good friends that live here, so I have a nice little community, which is cool. I got to spend some time last night with my friend and his son, and took them out to dinner, and I'll be doing that again tonight. So,
well, welcome back. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you, happy to be here.
Yay. So one of the things I wanted to ask you about that I thought was kind of cool as I was doing my research is, apparently, if you can confirm or deny, that you are a big fan of horror films and you like Freddy Krueger and stuff like that.
Yeah, I did. I mean, not that I don't. I do like Freddy. I just don't watch the films as much as I used to when I was a kid, which I shouldn't be watching as a kid, but I did. My mom was a big horror person, and still is. In fact, that side of the family, well, not that side. My mom, my sister, and my nephews are all horror film lovers, and so I saw everything growing up, for the most part. The stuff that was really, really scary, I saw.
It is very terrifying. I mean, I feel like it really stays with you, and it explains a lot about us, probably.
Well, it's kind of like getting on a roller coaster, right? It's like that excitement. It's a very similar sensation. You're like, oh my God, it's gonna drop, it's gonna drop. And you're like, oh my God, he's gonna open the door, he's gonna stab her. You know, like it's that same feeling. And I think that thrill is like so exciting.
Are you a roller coaster person?
I used to be until I started getting headaches.
It's not, those aren't fun, no.
Yeah, no, I used to be. My mom was a part of this roller coaster club called ACE. I don't know if anyone's heard of it.
Roller coaster club?
My mom is 80 and she has the soul and heart of like a 60-year-old. I mean, she's so, first of all, gorgeous, and her energy, she's like the Energizer Bunny. She just goes and goes and goes. It's amazing. So blessed. And so she was into the like roller coasters and amusement parks, you know, from when I was too small to even get on them. And she'd be like, wait here. Back in the day when parents just let their kids like, stay here, I'll be back in 20 minutes. You're like, okay. Nowadays it doesn't happen as much, but so we were always going to amusement parks, Six Flags and Great Adventure, all the Six Flags. Knott's Berry Farm and stuff. Yeah, we always like the ones with the scariest roller coasters, so.
So you're a bit of a thrill seeker, I appreciate that. Okay, so obviously we're here in Austin, and you've had the opportunity to travel all over the world. Are there any standout destinations that you get excited about when you know that you get a visit?
Yeah, right now, I'm like, I don't want to travel anywhere. I've been traveling so much. But I really get excited when I go to Europe, and I'm doing a 3-week tour in Europe soon, in like 2 weeks. And I love being there. I think that when I did my DNA test and looked at like my genetic testing rather, and like on 23andMe or whatever it was, I'm like 79% European. So it makes sense that I feel more connected to Europe than I do here. So I look forward to going to Europe. I really do.
Are you adventurous, like when traveling, when it comes to foods and stuff like that?
I'm a major foodie, but like a food snob. Like people get annoyed with me. I'm like, can't eat there. Nope.
Okay, so
Won't
like
do it.
more of like a.
But I like a hole in a wall. If it's like a great, taco joint or like a burrito burger spot, like I'm all for it. Even a truck. If it's like good quality, I'm all for it.
So while traveling abroad, like, would you try a haggis, or is that a little too?
What is the haggis?
Oh. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, Austin. It's a sheep's stomach, right? Like filled with stuff.
Oh, yeah. Probably not.
Okay.
I was in Turkey so long ago. It was like, oh my God, I think I was 29. The summer when I turned 29, and I was in Turkey, and we had some driver or whatever take us to some place for food because we hadn't eaten. It was like a 20-hour flight or whatever it was at the time, and he got us the soup, and I was like, oh, this is so tasty, but something's like really, what is this? And he's like, oh, it's some like stomach lining of some animal. And I was like, oh my God, I'm a vegetarian. All of a sudden I'm a vegetarian. No, in those moments you're like, you know what, I'll just go with the lasagna. Let's go with the lasagna. So I am adventurous though, like when it comes to like trying new foods and stuff. Like my dad, being half Puerto Rican, they loved blood sausage. And that, blood sausage! Thank you for that. That was only for me. I found it so humorous. Anyhow, and he would force me to eat it because my dad was like that. He's like, gotta eat everything on the plate. I was like, oh. It was like 85 pounds I was having to eat this stuff. But it was so nauseating. But I grew up having to eat things that I didn't always want to eat. It's good for you, eat it, It's like, oh. So it was kind of like my childhood. So I am open to trying new things if it sounds appealing. I don't know about the haggis though.
That's a. Mm-hmm.
I think I'll pass. Have you had it?
No.
Oh.
I'm not that adventurous, no. But I do love Austin barbecue. It's very good.
Yes, Colin saved me yesterday. When it was my lunch break, I think it was like in the middle of like new food arriving, and so there were only these vegetarian sandwiches, and I was like, oh, well, I guess this is all that's left. So I had a half, and it was fine. The food was great. But it wasn't like fulfilling. And I looked over at Colin, who had like ribs and pork pulled. I was like, where did you get all this? He's like, from the best place on the planet. I was like, he's like, here, have some. I was like, oh, thank you. So I feel like we can check that box. I got my barbecue.
I was gonna say, obviously these conventions are wonderful for reunions, and now you got to see Colin, and he gave you barbecue, and that is brilliant too. So yeah, shout out to Colin for the barbecue.
Colin looks great, doesn't he? We're talking about Colin. Did he just do his panel, or is he?
It's later
It's
today.
later today? Okay, good. You're all gonna be there? Okay, good. Okay, everyone who's in my line, I go to Colin, too, because, I don't know, I guess we look after each other, but it's really nice to see him. I haven't seen him in a minute. And his beard is like red. The red in it. It's really cute.
That tracks, yeah.
Yeah.
So before we do get to questions from the crowd, I wanted to ask, I saw that you recently volunteered, and the name of it was This Is About Humanity.
Oh yeah, it's about humanity.
Can you tell us a little bit about?
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit about it. It's a friend of mine, Elsa, who runs it and started it with her sister. It's an organization that focuses on helping refugee families who are seeking asylum and aren't getting it, and so they are being housed by. It's about humanity, and there's a school there. There's also an LGBTQ refugee house that they are in. So I went down there to prep meals and spend some time with kids and make vision boards and jewelry with kids, which really kind of taps into like who I've always been, which is so great, artistic, and also available to volunteer and be there for others. So it was really nice to kind of have that again that day, even though it was just a day. But I told Elsa, I was like, I want to do this again. She's like, we're going at the end of September. I'm like, I'll be in Europe, but it could be any other time. So she said December. So I'm still learning more. I'm still learning about the organization, but I got the email and she's invited me a couple times and I haven't been able to make it in the past. And, you know, I've always said I really want to do more for Puerto Rico, but Puerto Rico's kind of far from LA. So, you know, Mexico is so close. So it's really, look, helping people is helping people, right? So it doesn't matter. It can be your neighbor, which is great. Like my neighbor, I always, you know, she's out of town, she goes to Japan or something. She's like 92 or something. I help her out, you know. I try to bring her garbage bins in. She gets mad at me because she's like, it's my only form of exercise. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, but I feel so bad, you know. So I don't know. It's just, it was really cathartic in the sense that you just kind of forget about your life and all your problems, you know, how big and small that you think they are. When you really kind of step outside of your story and you see someone else's life, you're like, wow, I'm great. You know, like this is hard. You're seeing kids being ripped away from their parents, and you're looking at these kids. I was looking at some of these kids, and some of them have so much joy in life, and then some of them are like, I miss my mom, you know, and so it's hard, and there's so many problems in the world. So any opportunity that I can be of service, I try to jump on.
Amazing. So not only are you lovely and wonderful, but you're a good person, and that's so.
That's my number one goal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So if it's okay with you, like I said before, we do have a microphone. I believe it's right up there, right up front. Great. So whatever questions y'all may have, I urge you, now is your opportunity. Don't be scared, we got you.
Can we move the mic in the middle?
I think where the camera's set up.
Oh, is that the camera?
Yeah, I believe it is. Hi.
Should we swap seats?
Yeah, we can do that.
Sorry, they're gonna be like, we've looked at Lana's back of her head the whole time. Okay, that's better. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the mic's not working, so I'll just ask you.
Wait, there it is.
There it goes, okay. Hi, Lana. So I have a question. Some may agree, some may not agree with this, but I know that you've played multiple different roles where you didn't get happy endings. Would you be open to playing or portraying a character that does get happy endings?
I mean, I don't really think that's up to me unless I start writing my own scripts and making sure that every character I play has a happy ending. I mean, the great thing about not having a happy ending is like, well, no, let me rephrase that. What's a happy ending? I mean, seriously, like I think that what's happened is like our society has created an image of what a happy ending should look like. And it means like a family, you know, a partner and a family and a good job and all this stuff has to be lined up. And that's a lot of pressure. And I think because we've lived under that and like we're so influenced by it, if we don't have that picture, we feel like something's wrong. And so in my eyes, that character that I played for 7 years on that series did get a happy ending. You know, I think that having peace within oneself and like genuinely having, making amends and facing your fears and making amends. And what are you giggling about? I'm saying something so important. Why? But I do think, I think that, she found what she found was her true self deep down, and she made amends with people, and she, fought to become the best version of herself, and then she was gifted a beautiful family because of it. And I think that is ultimately her happy ending. There's a lot of single people in the world who are like, I don't want to be in relationships. Like, I'm a career-focused person. I have my kids, I have my dogs, or whatever it is that their choices are. My mom has been single now for 20 years. She's like, there's no way I want a guy. I'm done. She's over it. I'm like, great. And she's the happiest person I know. So I think it's really about defining what a happy ending is for you. And for everyone, individually. And so in my eyes, she did get a happy ending. On that other show with the roses and knives, not so much.
Yeah, totally.
Not so much.
And, I completely agree with you, and I thank you, and I'm sorry.
No, you're perfect. Listen, these questions are really important because I was able to answer it in a way that may have, made someone feel better in the audience who's like, you know what, I've been single since my separation. And I'm like, well, by choice. I'm like, do I date? Yes. Do I have my moments? Sure. But I want to wait till I meet the right person. I don't have to be in something to be happy.
No, I completely agree with that. Because I'm still single and I go to college.
And you're happy.
And I'm happy.
See, there it is.
Great question.
Great. That is a great question.
Thank you.
Solid question.
And a great shirt.
Try to follow up that one. Oh, hi.
Well, all right. Definitely will. So, great thing that you just said right now. Definitely agree with that. My fiance right here, we don't have kids and we're perfectly happy, and that's our choice.
Yeah.
So I really like what you said about that.
Thank you.
Mine is not really specifically a question, more of hey, this is what we're doing currently in that one show that you are playing such a really great villain. So every time you've done something evil, said something evil, we take a drink. So, or anytime there's a famous phrase in the show, there's also a drink. So you can imagine after a couple episodes.
You're hammered.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love this game.
So it was great.
Is it the show with the character that's on your shirt right now?
Absolutely.
Of course. Okay.
Absolutely.
I've been playing villains as of late, so
Yeah.
I just want to be
So,
clear. Oh yeah, you got a lot of episodes to get hammered.
We're trying to think of something for the redemption arc, a little bit later on the road. So we need to come up with something on that one pretty soon. So
Ginger and apple cider vinegar shots.
there you go.
So, the road to health.
Yes. That was it. No
I love
question,
that.
but
Thank you
it's
for
been
sharing.
super fun.
That's great. It's wonderful. Thank
That
you.
sounds fun. That sounds like a good time. All right. Now I need a rewatch. Okay.
Hi.
I'm Bianca.
Hi, Bianca.
Super nervous, but this is exciting. First Comic-Con I've been to. So I'm excited. Everyone has their own personal struggles and, deals with it in their own way. I would say that, looking up to you and your characters is a way to, get me through that and just look to being, living a better life.
Yeah.
And yeah, so my question is, who do you look up to and who are your inspirations whenever you're wanting to?
Thank you. God, well, I feel like I've really kind of fought through life solo a lot. So I know that sounds crazy, but I feel like I kind of raised myself on some level. And so my sort of foundation, it was based in faith and believing something bigger than myself and just feeling like I can trust the divine and universe to guide me. So that's kind of where I turn to. It's not necessarily a person. I mean, I look at my friend Eva Longoria, who I admire beyond, and I love her so much, and I'm so happy for everything she does, and so she inspires me, But then like someone else inspired me yesterday. Like I find inspiration everywhere. So it's not like a single person. But like my aunt, you know, my mom, sometimes I feel like it's a generation thing, like the boomers, they kind of don't deal with stuff. They're like, what do you mean? Everything goes under the rug. But like, it was their way of coping and it's how they did it. But there's also something really beautiful in that like she doesn't get hung up on like stuff for so long. She lets it kind of blow past her or bounce off her. And so I feel like I take gifts from everyone, you know, from friends like my girlfriend Alex, my friend Trish, Michelle. It's mostly people I know, you know, than people I don't know. I mean, I love Michelle Obama, and when I did all the work with her, you know, Reach Higher and all that stuff, like to get kids in school. Like, so there are qualities in all these beautiful people, heroes, leaders that I admire, but so I guess it's just a melting pot from everyone, just like pulling from everywhere. Yeah.
Same here. That was it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And welcome to your first convention.
Yeah, welcome.
You're part of it now.
Hi, Lana. My
Hi.
name is Kaylin. I just wanted to say I love you, for
Thank
one.
you.
And love everything that you're in. My question is, it's a little personal, but not too personal. It's going to be more or less on your technique of how do you cry on screen.
Oh.
Because you cry a lot in once.
I do cry a lot. I think I had a lot to cry about. I think crying as an actor is, you know, for some people extremely challenging. For some people, it's like, just comes pouring out. I feel like I fit in the middle somewhere. Sometimes it's easy for me to cry, depending on the story. If I'm deeply, deeply connected to the story, I just let the story carry me through. Like I literally just, how would I feel if this were happening to me? Sometimes if it's really, really hard, I think of something that's really, really sad.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to go to those places too. You know, one of my acting teachers said, if you're having a hard time crying, just act as if and just start to cry. And all of a sudden people are like, oh my God, is she crying? And it's part of the act. But then eventually, if you're acting as if you're crying, it will start to come. So there's many different tricks, let's just say.
Yeah, I've heard different techniques from different actors, so I
Yeah.
just wanted to know your technique.
People like stare at things, the light. People like think of like, you know, sometimes people use the menthol. Like sometimes I've had to, I'm like, wait, how many, we're doing 75 takes and I've been like crying for 3 hours? Okay, bring in the menthol. Like it's just like, you know, you got nothing left in you sometimes and you need a little assistance. Put an onion near your eye, you know? Like, so there are tricks. And by the way, it doesn't matter if you need it. If you need to pull one of those tricks out, it's fine as long as the performance is there. No judgment to anyone who has needed those, you know, little tricks here and there. But you know, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And at the end of the day, if the final product is effective, that's all that matters.
Well, thank you so much. Love you, Lana.
You're welcome. Me too.
Hi, Lana.
Hi.
This is my first con as well.
Welcome.
My name is Lauren. My question is, if you weren't an actress, what would you do in your life?
I'm still thinking about that. I'm serious. I'm like, do I want to do this forever? What do I want to do if I don't do this, you know? The industry is changing so much and I love acting, but I'm like, what else would I want to do? I think I would make a really great psychologist. I think like marine biology is not going to happen for me, but if I could turn back time, it would. But that's not going to happen. So I think realistically, if I were to stop acting and move forward in any field, it probably would be child psychology. And then I would most likely tour the world to countries where children are suffering, because that's something I've just been compelled to do since I was a little girl, actually, and experienced some of that when I was in my late 20s. I was going to third world countries and stuff, and working with children in art, and so I would probably go down that route, which is, by the way, could be a realistic, you know, could be a reality one day.
Okay,
So we'll
thank
see.
you.
I feel like you'd make a wonderful ambassador, just in general.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've had my therapist say, you really should go get your psychology degree. You're so good at this. And I was like, no, he's like, you should start a podcast. I'm like, Dr. G, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Call him G. But, you know, but I know that I'm skilled in that area, so who knows? You never know.
Thank you.
You're
You're a great
welcome.
actress, and I love you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
What's your favorite like ecosystem, like biome, like rainforest, desert, that kind of thing?
Oh God, did you see what happened in Burning Man? Sorry, I'm just talking about ecosystems. There's this storm that hit Burning Man. I've never been, so I'm just not interested. I might have asthma, and I can't do it. I can't, like the dust and everything, like if something's wrong, you're like, how do you get out of there? And something happened, and so like now they're all stuck there for days. It's terrible, 70,000 people. So check on your friends who are at Burning Man, if anyone has a friend at Burning Man. I would say my favorite ecosystem is probably the rainforest. I just think there's like so much life in there. I haven't spent enough time in the rainforest, but when you said it, I was like, oh yeah, like I got excited about that one in particular. Desert is kind of like, I need sunblock, but the rainforest, I find it so fascinating, and I find any forest fascinating, actually. Yeah. That's a great question, Lucy, thank you.
Any like animals that you'd like to see in the rainforest?
Oh, I mean, yeah, all of them. I mean, I don't know all of them, and like, I can't list them, but I mean, anytime I see a monkey, they're really cute and fun, although they can be nasty little guys. Where was I? Oh God, I was in Africa at this beautiful resort, and there were so many of these little monkeys. I don't know, they were little bastards. They were little shits, and I was like, all right, you stay over there. You know, they were like grabbing your things and like pulling on you, and you're like, wow, where's all this aggression coming from?
We're just fans.
But
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Oliver.
Hi,
My
Oliver.
question is, are there any like mannerisms or like little quirks that you've picked up from any of the characters you played?
I would save that character that I played for 7 years. It was a major detox. Yeah. I've caught myself a couple times. So I was like, oh, that's not you, that's her. That's her. But you know, when you're playing someone for so long, it's in you. I mean, I was telling that person's story more than I was living my own. But it's true. And you know, when you're on a set from 14 to 16 and a half hours a day, you're just like, you're in this bubble, you know? And you end up absorbing so much of that energy, so much of her anger or her resentment, you know, whatever it was. That's why I loved when that character was in Light, because I was like, everyone's gonna be really happy when I do a comedy one day. But like, because it's that energy, it sticks with you. It's sometimes hard to shake things off when you're acting, and especially when you're playing a really intense, dark character.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name's Heidi. First of all, I want to say your dress is beautiful.
Thank you. I was like, it's Sunday. I don't know, it felt like we
So
needed.
my question is that show you were on for 7 years. Did you come away with any long-lasting friendships, and do you still stay in touch with any of those cast members?
I do. Rebecca and Sean and Victoria and Karen, Colin, Jared, who else? Marin, Kristen. Yeah. I mean, everyone's like lives have changed too. You know, people have married and have kids, and you know, so people's life, you grow apart. It's natural. So, especially when you're working with someone for so long, sometimes you're like, I can't wait to be done. It's like energetically, we're like, we're not friends. We just don't click. So sometimes that happens too. But I would say, yes, I have a lot of good friends from the show, and I'm very grateful. And we tour a lot together too. So that's really good. And maybe we do a lot of these like European tours together. Yeah. You're welcome.
Hi, I just kind of wanted to start off with like, you were like my entire childhood. Like, and like the more I hear you talk, I feel like, I don't know, I just like adapted your personality because I'm from Washington where everything is like all forest and I wanted to be a marine biologist growing up.
Did you?
Yeah, for the longest time. So just hear you talk and I'm just like, oh my gosh, she's gonna be like me or I'm like her. My question for you was like, not necessarily just in your childhood, but like, is there anything that drove you to do a lot of the things that you do now, like traveling to these third world countries or just traveling so much in general and like doing all these charity events and stuff?
I didn't catch the question. I'm sorry.
What like, not necessarily like an inspiration, but what like clicked to like drive you to want to do all
what
these
drove me
things?
to do these things? My family. My family was always very inclusive with people who was in need of food or shelter. And so I just kind of grew up like with big families, and my family's always including other people in their families. And so like both my grandmothers fed the neighborhood a lot, you know, like we always had kids running in and out. Both sides of my family, actually. I think it's like a Brooklyn thing. I mean, it's so great growing up in Brooklyn when I did, because all the kids were out in the street and everyone was like in each other's homes, and like if I didn't, you know, if I would eat at my grandmother's and then I go to my friend's grandmother's, she would want to feed me too. So it was like, I think that, and then my mom on holidays, we would prepare meals and feed veterans and stuff like in the morning and then have our Thanksgiving later in the afternoon. So I guess I just grew up kind of always helping people in need, even though we didn't really have much. I mean, we really didn't. We grew up, you know, lower middle class. So I don't know, like my grandmother's pot of rice fed like 50 people. So I was like, you know, so I guess it was always in me to do that. And I also know that it's so critical to give back. And I think that came from just, honestly, the Bible studies as a kid. Like, I went to church from 7 to 10 by myself for 3 years. I don't know why. I'd get up on a Sunday and walk to church 3 blocks and sit there, and I led Sunday school, and it was just kind of what I did. And so I learned through those stories that you should always help people. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy I got to meet you.
Likewise, thank you. And I'll see you out there. Hi, the Queen has arrived.
My name is Jenny. Sorry, I'm really nervous.
It's okay.
Okay. So what is your favorite outfit look you wore in Once Upon a Time?
There is a photo on my table where I'm wearing this like bejeweled headpiece, and it's actually just really a headshot, so you can't see the outfit, but the outfit's like this beautiful crushed rubber. It's like a thin rubber. It's not like, oh my god, I'm wearing a rubber tire. It was more just like this. I don't know how Eduardo found this fabric. He's a genius. But he made this beautiful gown, and I remember I couldn't really walk in it. It was the middle of July and I was sweating everywhere, especially in rubber. But it comes down really, really low, and it's black, and it has like all this, it's kind of crinkly. I can't say anything more than that, I think. But if you come to the table, I'll show you the picture. You know which one. Okay, someone else can say which episode, which I know, but like I unfortunately can't. But the one you're wearing is beautiful.
Oh, fun fact, today is my 8-year anniversary in your fandom.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy 8th year.
Hey girl.
Hi.
I was gonna say the same thing. I love your dress.
Thank you.
So my question is, what's one thing that can instantly make your day better? And when was a time you felt like, ultimate happy, like you couldn't stop smiling type thing?
Oh gosh. Honestly, I wake up with so much love every morning from my two little furry babies. I'm sometimes late to everything in the mornings because I can't stop kissing them, and that's when I'm probably the happiest in the morning. Just waking up and seeing them by my side, I just love them so much. And you had another question that was...
Yes, when was the time you felt like ultimately happy? Where you were just like, oh my God, like I'm so happy right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of those moments. There's a lot of those moments. So, I mean, on my mom's 80th, the fact that she made it to 80 is incredible. And I hope she makes it to 180. You know, I've happiest moments. There's so many, like birthdays and when my girlfriends have their babies, like the joy, you know, life. It's like, so there's so many. I can't pinpoint one exactly, but like, I really seek to find joy every day, you know? Like this woman in the back said, blood sausage! And all of a sudden I was like, that made me so happy. You know, it's like, it's just a funny sense of humor. So yeah, I'm genuinely happy right now. So yeah, but that's a good question. And maybe something that we should all ask ourselves and try to, you know, inspire to have every day is to find the joy in every day, right?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think we're all pretty happy right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy right now.
That's great. We got about 10 minutes left.
Okay.
Hi, Lana.
Hi.
I'm Emily.
Hi, Emily.
I love you. I think you're fantastic.
Thank you.
What would be some advice that you would give to like aspiring actors and actresses that are like just starting out in their careers, or like they've done like theater, but you know they're just not sure what to do? Like, what would be advice that you would give to them?
I would say if they're doing theater, to make sure that they administrate, meaning like that they are getting that information out to people that can actually make a difference in their lives. Like seek agents, seek, those people, casting directors, like literally go to their offices, say I'm doing this show, or find ways to kind of spread that word, because it's a different time, but that's how I was discovered. I was doing theater and then I did a play, and some screenwriter was in the audience and said, oh, I'd love for you to do my movie. So it's like, I do think that getting out there and doing theater is incredibly important. I also think that start filming stuff with your friends. Like, pick a house, and like write something, a short, or do a scene from a play and film it and start putting your reel together, because at the end of the day, people want to see what you're capable of, right? So, line's so familiar. But it's true, they want to see what you're capable of, so you have to sort of show them, and they're not going to spend 20 minutes listening to your story unless they're super interested. Right. So the way to capture them is, it's super easy for people to click on a link now, or back in my day, pop in a DVD. But I would recommend that.
Tapes. No, I'm kidding.
VHS.
I just think you're fantastic, and thank you so much.
Thank you, I hope that's helpful.
Thank you.
And study your craft. I mean, that's critical. I still am a student.
So I think we have time for 2 more questions.
Sure.
I apologize. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
Melissa. Mine's not a very serious question. I just thought I'd bring some levity.
Great.
How many times would you say your takes were interrupted filming in the Pacific Northwest by mosquitoes?
By mosquitoes?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. I had a feeling.
A lot. I think it's in a blooper reel, all of us smacking each other because there's a mosquito-infested forest. A lot. And it sucked. Mostly, obviously, in the summer. But I think anywhere where it's wet and rainy, mosquitoes reside, so we just have to deal with them. It's annoying. I
Still
hate
want to go
them.
to the rainforest?
With a lot of cover-up. Like, yeah, I do, actually. I still do. I want to go to the Amazon one day. It's just a dream, but I don't know if I'll ever make it there.
I hope you do.
Me too.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, I totally apologize. This has to be the final question. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, guys.
I feel
Thank
so
you.
honored. Be the last one. Also, I'm very happy that somebody mentioned the costumes in that one show, because that's actually one of the things that inspired me to do
Cosplay?
fashion design.
Oh, got it.
But my question was, I've been watching your shows since I was 7 years old, which is probably too young, but that's what happened. And
No judgment. I saw a lot at 7.
Freddy Krueger, apparently, yeah.
And all of these characters that I've seen you play, they all have so much depth, and there's such a great story behind them. And I wanted to know what you wanted people to take away from those stories and from those characters.
I think that like anytime we have an opportunity to portray a character, we hope that the audience is able to relate to them on some level, right? Connect with them or be affected by them. And so I don't think I make choices hoping that that's going to happen. I feel like you have to make strong choices as an actor, and if you're grounded in truth and real emotion and expression, it's going to have that impact. So with this particular show that we're not talking about, like, I am blown away by the response to it. But I do have to, attribute that to the writers who were themselves willing to go that deep, and help us as actors through these characters get to that level. Someone's alarm's going off.
Sounds like an ice cream truck.
I know,
What
it
is
does
that?
sound like an ice cream truck. I'm like, what is it, rocket pops? One of those? I want those are good. So, I mean, I would, like, in the past before this one show, I didn't think about like, I want to be a part of content that's actually inspiring people. That came from working on this series. And when I saw the impact that it has, and still has, on people, it's been so great, because I'm like, why aren't we making more content like that in the world, period? Where people are like, oh my God, this role, watching your trajectory and her arc, like, changed my life, or it saved my life, or it brought my dad and I closer, or my grandmother on her last days, like, we shared this, and I would love to be a part of something like that again, because of the positive impact it's having, I'm not gonna say that I won't play an evil character again, I will, but I hope that in doing so that I can always show the other side of her, which is the part that is more, human and that we can all connect to.
Of course, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you. First of all, I gotta give you guys some credit for not blowing it and asking questions where I could have gotten myself in trouble.
Everyone was so appropriate. Thank you.
You guys were really appropriate. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Before we let you go, though, we're going to
Yes.
take a big group picture, if that's okay with you.
Of course, let's do it.
Yes, okay, so if you guys want to calmly make your way on up to the stage.
Thank you guys, and I guess I'll see you shortly. I look at the watch I never wear.